Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the program Society and Economy. I'm your host, Yuniba Qureshi, and we are having with us Dr. Abrad Shah. Today we are going to talk about human resource. As we know, HR, that's the human resource, is basically the manpower that's used in an organization for enhancing the profitability of an organization. Now, to know about it further in detail, we will talk to our guest. Welcome, Abraham. So, what basically is human resource?
When we talk about human resource, it comprises of human and resource. Resource means productive power, and human resource means the productive power of a human being. So, talking about human resource, it is all about the productive power of human beings in the world.
So, if it's the human resource you talked about, then what is human resource management?
Human resource management is how to manage this productivity of human beings, because we have human capital which is considered to be the richest among all the resources. To harness it at its optimum level, it is necessary to manage this resource effectively, and for that there had been a systematic study and a huge body of knowledge in the form of human resource management, which had developed various techniques for the utilization of human beings to its optimum level.
And talking about the trends, what are the trends that are used while selecting the human resource?
See, when we talk about the selection of human resource, it is first of all the organization's mission is taken into consideration, and then accordingly for realizing that mission, an organization structure is created, and within that organization structure there is an organizational hierarchy, and within that hierarchy there are various slots which need to be filled through proper recruitment process. But before that, it is identified that what are the various positions, and for every position there is a specific job description that is associated with that position. And then we take into consideration the trends, that is demographic. We have to see on the basis of demography, that is what age is proper for a particular job. We have to also see what sex is proper for a particular job. For example, we have the cabin crew, and in the cabin crew we have air hostesses, and we require females for that position. Similarly, we have some positions, especially in the manufacturing sector, where there is more manual work, and in that, or for example, we have army, especially the army where the field positions, and in that the deployment of males is preferred. So accordingly, we talk about age. There are some positions in the organization where youngsters are given more preference than the advanced people.
Age groups.
Because those positions require more zeal and enthusiasm, which is found to be much more in the younger age groups, especially in those people who are going for entry-level jobs. So that is how we make use of the trends like demography, and also we see the economic status of a particular group, or we also see the cosmopolitan backup of a particular person while we are hiring him for a new organization. For example, there is multinational organization which is having a multinational cultural setup within its organization. And for that, people who are having a cosmopolitan background are given preference because they can easily fit with those people who are from different religious backgrounds, from different ethnic groups, from different cultural diversity. So that is how these human resource trends play a role while designing the human resource system in an organization.
So, what about the skills?
Yes, actually, for every organization, when we talk about the human resource function, they have to design a proper recruitment and selection procedure, and also within the organization they are responsible for enhancing the skills of the manpower which is already there. See, there is a lot of technological change going on, and what is new today becomes obsolete tomorrow. So with that trend, we have to also keep our manpower equipped with the new skills that will enable them to fit themselves in the changing technological environment.
And does the human resource that we are going to select for a particular organization, does they require some specific degree? I mean to say some selected specialization, I mean to say MBA like MFCs, MCAs. Is there a...
You mean people who are being hired for human resource
exactly.
function?
Yeah. I mean, what is followed in the recruitment policy in terms of qualification?
For whom?
When you are selecting the HR for your company, for an
Yes,
organization, what is the terminology for the qualification that you are taking in your organization?
Right,
In the recruiting
See,
policy?
at this stage there are various courses which are being offered regarding human resource management. There is initially it was a specialized function for the students who were pursuing MBA. That was MBA human resource was taken as a specialized function, especially in the 4th semester of the course. But now there is a separate program which is a specialized program in human resource, that is MBA human resource, and which is primarily focusing on the human resource
That means
function.
it's completely the degree based on human resource.
Yes, because its orientation is almost revolving
Focuses.
around human resource function,
Mhm.
and it is almost designed in such a way so that the candidate who is equipped with such a degree is able to master this function, and he is able to design a human resource system in an organization. He is able to frame policies regarding human resources. So that is how this is coming as a profession in itself.
Now this was about the definition of human resource, how we select the human resource. Now coming to the point that what actually human resource does in a company, how it works.
Yes, first of all, as there are other departments in the organization, and human resource had always worked behind the curtain because it is considered to be a staff function. So it
Means it is, you said the staff function. We have human resource management, that's correlative to it, human resource, that's derived term. So does it mean it's a function of management, basically?
Yes, management is all about managing the organization, and for managing the organization we have different resources, and one of the important resource is human resource, although there had been a conflict also on the term human resource, because there had been some philosophers who had opposed the term human resource, taking this into consideration that human being is not a resource because he is much more than a resource. He is someone who is deploying the resources. So that is why in many organizations now the term had been replicated by personnel management rather than human resource management. Even you will find a number of authors who have authored books on this
You mean
subject.
human resource is replaced by personnel management?
Mostly many authors don't use the term human resource management because they use personnel management, although both imply the same thing. But it was only about the controversy that was created that human resource is not a term which should be used because human being is much more than a resource, and he is someone who is actually using the resources. So that is a big issue, and leaving that aside, we'll come on the what you have asked it, that is what it actually does in the organization. In an organization, human resource always plays a role because it has to collaborate with other functions of the management. For example, there is an organization which is in manufacturing or which is in selling, but to make its sales team more effective and more robust in its dealings, human resource works at the back end, and it keeps its force completely motivated to keep them motivated and to work for the organization with such a way so that to reduce the employee turnover, because you will see right now when there is a lot of competition in the marketplace and people who are working well within the organization, they're always followed by different job offers from different companies, and it is always that those companies are giving them lucrative offers to trigger their shift from this organization to their organization, which use their human resource in a better way. So for that, the existing human resource department of the existing organization had to play a role to ensure their motivation in such a way so that they will not be attracted by those offers, and that will reduce the employee turnover in an organization. So for that, the human resource management works in such a way so that it gets the people who are working in that organization involved in it as it is a family. And they see that what motivates a particular person, because always you see that the motivation level keeps on changing. What motivates one person cannot be a motivating factor for another person.
Exactly.
So human resource has to see that what is actually the thing that motivates. Sometimes they see that some people are motivated by monetary incentives. So besides their salary, they are given more incentives. Sometimes they see that people, especially at the higher executive levels, are not motivated by monetary benefits. For them, they give incentives like travel for their families, foreign tours, and other sort of things. And then at some stage, they see that that also does not motivate a particular person, especially who had worked so much for the organization and is at the very higher level. So for them, they give flexibility in his work. They give him more authority in decision making. They involve him in the top management policies of the company. So that way, they ensure the retention of the best human resource for the organization. In the same way, they have always an eye over attracting the best talent to their organization. So for that, they see that what is it that will attract the talent pool, and they create an organizational culture which is in harmony, which is comfortable, and through word of mouth publicity, they create an image that this organization is employee friendly, so that the new employees who are looking for jobs, they get attracted to that organization.
So, as we know, our viewers know, that organization has various levels. So, does this human resource operate on any level, or there is a specific level exclusively meant for it?
It operates at every level, but during the lower managerial functions, its function is rather more, because at the higher levels, then human resource management's role also keeps on decreasing. Because, for example, there is a top brass of the organization, like the chief executive officers of the organization or the chairman and directors. There it remains a consultation sort of role, an advisory role, because with the advances in the managerial cadre, they have got a lot of exposure, and they are the people who have devised that sort of mechanism that at that stage the involvement of human resource remains advisory rather than they keep on getting involved in it as they used to get involved at the lower managerial levels.
So, what about the human resource functions outside the organization?
Outside the organization, human resource function is all about the searching of the talent. That
Means
is,
they do recruiting as well?
yes, that is their one of the major functions. That is talent search, talent hunting, and you see that nowadays human resource managers are often thronging the campuses of reputed institutions. For example, there are IITs, IIMs in India, and always at the beginning of the fourth semester, the process of placement starts, and the human resource management of different organizations collaborates with the placement cell of that educational institution so that they will have access over the best of the candidates available at the very initial stage before they will go to the marketplace and will be taken by any other organization. They catch them at the very initial stage and interview them, screen them, and hand them over with the job offers so that after the end of the course they will join the organization formally.
We know that profitability has a role to play in an organization. Profitability is the main focus of any organization. So what is the correlation between the human resource and the profitability?
Human resource function, if it is effective, it will be more profitable for the organization in the way because it is directly proportional with the profitability. For example, more the motivation level of the employees, more will be their productivity, and more the productivity of the employees, more will be the profitability. So it is this equation which sets or which proves that the human resource management has always a role to play in the profitability of the organization.
And what, in addition to this, what the human resource has the role to play in the society? What kind of a role do you think is it?
In the society, human resource, it is all, our society comprises of human resource. And we have, as you are talking about the bigger role of human resource, I will take it to the example of the macro level. At a very macro level in India, we have the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. And it is under that ministry that it is being always identified about the human resource capital. And it is as on that industry records that we are able to create educational institutions for different professional courses. For example, medical colleges are to be established. How it can be conveyed to the country that how many medical colleges are required or how many engineering colleges are required. For that there is a big team of researchers who are continuously in the process of research in order to identify that what is the need of doctors in the country, how much engineers are required, and what are the different branches of engineers that we require, or what are the various levels of secondary or higher secondary schools that is a requirement. And in the same way, other aspects, suppose we have physics, chemistry, and other pure sciences or applied sciences. So in that aspect, that research is done, and then the need is identified. And after the identification of that need, the educational institutions are created so that it will be in the process of the supply and demand will be met. So this is how at the society level it plays a role. And then we have various skill development programs running across the country because we require plumbers, we require carpenters, we require masons, we require electricians, we require the people who are repairing the air conditioners, we require the people who are painting the walls, painters. So we require a lot of talent and a lot of people with different skills. So to impart such skills, Government of India had taken various skill development initiatives across the country after the identification of the requirement of various personnel that are required for different purposes. So for that, Ministry of HRD had set a number of institutions whether it is the ITIs across the country, that is the industrial training institutions, which run short-term courses to impart such skills. So this is how the HR plays a role at the society level.
And any negative impact of HR on society or in general in the whole economy?
I cannot observe as such that there is any negative impact of human resource management, because it is a wonderful way of harnessing the productivity of human beings.
Finally, I would like you to share with our viewers your personal opinion about HR.
My personal opinion about human resources is that a human being is a vital asset in terms of what he can do. He is productive, but it is only to see that how his productivity will be utilized, and what are the ways through which his productivity will be optimized. So we have to see accordingly that what are the various programs to which we will expose our humans so that they will come up as economically productive people.
So this was all for today. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.